When will we stop criminalizing black children? That is a question I think about, talk about, and ponder over on a regular basis. As I watch black children be disciplined in a higher manner than white students, as I have had to advocate for my own children, and as I've had to advocate for other black children, as their parents call upon me to assist them in tackling racist events that have taken place against their children in the education system. Could you imagine being called to the school when your child is in first grade and you're told you need to come immediately because there's a serious disciplinary infraction that has taken place? You get to the school and you see your first grader, 7 years old, sitting in the office with a police officer. Let me take that age back. 6 years old, sitting in the office with a police officer. You enter the office very befuddled, a little frightened, and definitely concerned for the safety of your child. Your child looks at you, fighting back tears. You turn to the principal, and you hear the principal tell you, "Oh, your son and his best friend were sitting under the stairwell watching girls and female teachers walk up the stairs, and they were looking under their dresses." I said, "Okay." I looked around the room. Only my son was in the office. So I said, "Well, where's the other child?" The other child, a white male, first grade. He and my son had been best friends since preschool. He was back in class. So I was curious. How was my son in the office and the other child was back in class? The principal goes on to tell me, "Oh, we kept your son because from our understanding, from our perception, and from our investigation, your son thought of the idea, so he's the one being punished." He thought of the idea based on your investigation, based on your perception, based on your implicit biases. My son was guilty of doing something that caused you to have the police officer sitting next to him. The police officer in turn says to me, "You better get him in check or the next time he'll be down at the station with me." I said to my son, "Go out of the office. As a matter of fact, go back to class." And I looked at the principal and I said, "I dare you to stop him." As my son left, I said to the principal, "I do not understand the reason for the officer detaining my son. I do not understand what the disciplinary infraction is. Yes, it is rude and disrespectful for children to look under anyone's dresses. They are first grade, and this should be more of a teachable moment." The principal goes on to tell me, "Well, your son will be suspended for 2 days." And I said, "Show me in your handbook where this is a disciplinary infraction where my son should be suspended for 2 days. Criminalizing of black children as early as first grade, as early as kindergarten, as early as preschool has to stop. What can we do as a community to dismantle racism and implicit biases because they are tainting, taunting, and traumatically hindering our children from growing and having a fair chance at being successful in life? That day, I had to sit my son down and tell him that he could not do the same things that his best friend did. "But Mommy, we're both the same age. We've been best friends since we were 3 years old. He loves me. I love him." "I understand, son. But understand that he is white and you are not. Is it fair that we have to continue to have these conversations with our black children?" Fast forward many years later, I have a daughter who stands 6 feet tall. I had the teacher call me and tell me that my daughter was intimidating her when she walked into the classroom. I was completely baffled. I did not understand what she meant. And so I asked for a meeting with the principal and the teacher. And in this meeting, the teacher said, well, when your daughter walks in, just her walk is intimidating. Her shoulders are back, her eyes are forward, her posture is just so perfect. It's just intimidating to me. And I said, ma'am, do you have any 6-foot-tall white boys that walk into your classroom? The teacher said, I can't tell you who those students are. I said, I didn't ask you who the students were. I just asked you if you had any 6-foot-tall white males entering into your classroom. The teacher said, yes. I said, are they intimidating? The teacher could not give me an answer. So explain to me the difference between a 6-foot-tall black girl walking into your classroom and a 6-foot-tall white male walking into your classroom. Last I checked, no black girls 6-foot-tall or taller or shorter has shot up any schools. Last I checked. So let's be mindful of what we are infiltrating into the classroom with our biases, with our judgments, with flat-out racism. Please, let's check ourselves. Black children are losing on a daily basis because of racism. When can I stop having the talk?